Alright, this is GEC doing MU car drive comparison, basically underfloor power trucks. I know that a lot of us lately, especially on Rear Done, that we're working on the MU cars, and we're having problems because you don't want to ruin your interior MU car, but you don't, but you want to be able to run the actual train. It doesn't work for it to just be sitting with no motor in it. So here we're gonna look at the three different drives that I think are easily available at this point. You can use to do what we need to do. We got the Stanton drive, the IHP prototype drive that I have, and the Black Beetle drive, which is from an Australian firm that you can still find pretty easily, and I've tested it, so I know it works. Let's see, there's some other drives out there too. There's like the Tenshoto Spud, which is a popular one. I haven't seen so much of it around anymore, but it's an older drive. It's very loud and it sounds funny. I've heard people complain about it. The PDT I heard was good, but I don't know how much better it is than anything else that's out there. And I think as far as being DCC ready, you probably want a newer drive, because most of these you don't have to clip a wire or change something around and you're done. You've got a DCC drive. So I think we're going to stick with the more recent ones. So the first one here is going to be the Northwest Shoreline Stanton drive in a Silverliner 3. Alright, so what we have here is you have one main housing that bridges across the whole thing and holds the model together. There's a printed circuit board on the bottom that holds the bearings, the wheels, and the motor in. And you have a bolt coming out the top with some nuts and some washers, and this is what you use to mount it into your model. For my Silverliner 3, it was actually really simple. You just drill a hole through the floor and it actually fits right in. So that's pretty fortunate. You can see the gears here on the bottom. They've got Delrin gears in this one, but I would use the brass gears, since for MU models you want to put weight in your truck, and the plastic gears will get chewed up, and that was my experience. I had to send it back for a couple months to get it changed. You can put a capacitor in for DCC, which will, I guess, gives you some extra power, because it's not very much pickup with one single truck. And as you can see in the picture, it says cut off the coupler mount if you don't want it, and you're probably going to cut that off. You can see the bearings here in this cutaway view. Basically, that these are flipped in certain configurations, you can get different wheelbases. I would leave that alone, because they will change it for you without voiding your warranty if you really want something different. And so don't ruin your model, send it back, and you'll be good as gold. You can see the Silverliner going full blast in this video. That's all by itself. As you add more cars to it, it gets slower. And it also struggles a lot. I had to put a whole lot of weight in this thing just to make sure that the truck was pulling, because without weight, it just slips and slides. And you have to make sure it's mounted right so that all the wheels are really gripping into it, because sometimes it'll just push itself over. At the same time, I wouldn't use more than 2 MU cars in a train with one power truck, because you can see I've got 3 cars running off this one power truck. So you can kind of pull it off, but it really cuts back on your performance, and you don't want to do that to your model. I would just let it go. Stick to 2 cars per truck. Alright, next we have the IHP's power drive. It's different from the other ones in that it comes in total frame. I'm thinking he may offer these power drives separately in the future, but I'm thinking for now to either get a frame, or more likely you have to get RTR models with them in them already. But because you can pretty much only get them as RTR models, that's not a problem. But basically what you have here is you have all-wheel pickup, because you do get the whole frame. Once again, it's very easy to add DCC into this one, because you can see these red and black wires. You just disconnect them from the motor, and you can hook those up to your DCC decoder, then put your orange and gray wires of the DCC decoder back to the motor, and you're set. There's no interior in these, because for the Septistore IHP models that they're selling, they have black window inserts. Originally I was complaining about this, but truthfully, once you put the tinted windows in, you can't really see the insides unless you try. So that said, you also don't have to worry about the fact that that motor's sticking straight up into the top there. But I should also point out that even though it does stick up like that, it's not necessarily noticeable, and it's only at one end of the car. And you gotta remember, this is an 85-foot car, so in the grand scheme of things, it's not as bad as it looks. But that's the whole story on that one. Basically, when you look at it, though, you have the drive shaft goes straight down, and the worm gear engages that white gear, and from there on, little tiny gears in there they drive the wheels. I should point out though, you should be very careful because the clips to hold the bottom of these trucks on, they're very, very wimpy and they crack easily. I should also point out there's plastic side frames so they look like the GSI trucks on these cars. Yeah, so basically you can weather that to look like it so it stands out better. Here's my model pulling into my station. It's kind of funny because I've heard Mike describe it as they don't have good slow speed operation, but I think it's opposite. Even with this weird motor, it's only my prototype, the slow speed operation is a lot better than both the other power trucks I'm going to go over. And it works out pretty well. I mean, for something he's calling a toy, it's probably the best Silverliner 4 out there, and it runs probably better than most of them too, so you can't complain with it. So you can see it starts up here. Mine's a little bit loud, it grumbles a little, but that's just mine because I don't know what the seal is. Haven't figured it out yet. Production drives have a different motor in them, and they run a little bit slower, but you should consider that mine runs at like that speed, at speed step 3, and at 10 it's going a trillion miles an hour. Alright, basically here we got the Steam Errors Miles Black Beetle drive. There's a little logo, cute little buggy there. This is by an Australian company, and I found them around the trade shows in this country kind of frequently, but the only good place I know to get them on a regular basis is a place called motorbogies.com, and they sell all underfloor power trucks for model trains, so you'll find a lot of these there. Basically, it's a really big stocky version of like what looks like the stand drive. You can see the black and red wires, they go right to the motor, and on the sides there you can unclip them from the collectors, so you could hook up your DCC decoder to these wires and you're ready to go. So once again, it's DCC ready. You just got to clip a wire and attach them and you're done. They come in various wheelbases. They have, you can see there on the side, little wings where the pickups attached to. They also have things for your side frames. Since if you don't need side frames like an Arrow, you can just clip these, but if you're running some of the other stuff like the Reading cars or MP54s, that'll be good. Basically, they're hooked up. They're two halves of a motor cradle that are screwed into a top plate that has the motor mount or the truck mount to the body on top of that. So if you knew what you're doing, you could probably make a custom top plate. You could even like adjust your wheelbases a tiny bit. I found that these are a little bit faster than the other ones, but they're not. But they're also bigger, and that's bigger in terms of power, but also size. And in order for me to get this in the model, I actually had to cut my model open quite a bit, and I was very upset about that. I'm probably have to reinforce the shell frame just a tiny bit to get it going. But you can see it here. It's in my Aero 3 single kit from IHP. It does work pretty fast when it's working. It's been giving me trouble recently because this is my first attempt to put a power truck in anything. But the only problem is I can see is because it is so big, you have to cut a huge hole in the floor, and I have to remove some seats to put the bolster in. And I guess I could probably put those seats back in if I cut out the very bottoms of them so they fit in level, but it's very frustrating. That said, though, I think these would probably be better if you want to do like a Metroliner MU car, because these do go a little bit faster, and they are a little bit stronger, and I'm thinking they're going to move it a little better. Unfortunately, I don't have any video of this one today because right now that model's in pieces and I'm repainting the shell. But in the near future, I might make a new video of it. Alright, well, thanks for watching. I have the URLs that no one's going to bother type from here because I'm a jerk and I put them in like this little credits place. But thanks for watching. Hope this helped you pick a good power truck for your model kit.